My fiance cheated on me and I'm pregnant. I am not the oop. Oop is you, which consequence 340. My fiance cheated on me and I'm pregnant. Originally posted to r true off my chest. Mood spoiler. Please read the trigger warnings. You may find this post upsetting, infuriating and traumatizing. Trigger warning. Controlling behavior. Infidelity. Talk of abortion and miscarriage. Verbal and emotional abuse. Public humiliation. Less than. Original post July 2nd, 2023. Pretty much what the title says. My fiance and I have been together 3 years and I love him more than anything. I know 3 years isn't that long and I've had longer relationships, but mine with him is definitely the most serious by far, and not just because he proposed. I've never loved anyone more than him, and when I fell for him it was a much stronger and intense connection that I've ever had for anyone in my life. I'm only 26, so I know have time find someone else, but I'm so incredibly heartbroken in ways I didn't even imagine I could break. This is by far the worst pain I've ever felt. I don't know how it happened. This was the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. And I was so excited to get married and have our child. He doesn't even know I'm pregnant because his birthday is next month and I wanted to surprise him. There were none of the usual signs, like our relationship declining for the past several months. It was like one day the switch just flipped. I noticed he was first off like 2 weeks ago after we came home from my friend's place after hanging out. He seemed distant, but I just chalked it up to him being tired. But then he continued to be a little distant. I know his boss has been on his ass lately about a work project. He's an engineer and I thought he was just stressed about it. These past 2 weeks we haven't been having intimacy either, but that's not out of the normal. Because when he's really stressed, either with family stuff or work, he isn't usually in the mood. On Friday I went out of town to visit my sister and I just got home today. Originally the plan was for him to go with me, but he told me he really needed the weekend to work on his project, which I didn't find suspicious at all. He knew what day and what time I would be coming home. Yet when I got into our home the kitchen hadn't been cleaned from what was obviously a romantic dinner, and when I got to the bedroom the sheets were a mess and a woman's lingerie was on the floor by the door. And his pants and their shoes were in the hallway, very obviously hastily taken off on the way to our shared bedroom, our shared bed, our shared everything in our sacred place. It just seems so surreal. He knew what I would see and didn't even bother to clean up. Did he really think I'd stay? Did he really think I just wouldn't care? He's not picking up my calls, and when I texted him I realized he'd blocked me. If he was into someone else, why didn't he just say that? Why would he let me find out in the most hurtful way in the world? Even worse, I know who the girl is because she left her jewelry, and it's someone who I was insecure about when our relationship first started, but that I got over the longer we were together. I don't know what to do. I had to get out of our home, so now I'm just crying on my front lawn. I'm too mortified to call anyone close to me, and a million thoughts are running through my mind. What am I going to do with the baby? I can't even imagine trying to co-parent with him after a betrayal like this. Why did he do this? What changed? Did he get bored of me? Why wasn't I enough? Why her? Why me? What am I going to tell people? How am I ever going to trust someone again? Where am I going to live? Which of our mutual friends will choose him? Does this mean I can't be friends with his sister anymore? Just so many questions with zero explanations. I can't even put into words how soul damaged, emotionally crushed, and absolutely wrecked I am. I'm so hurt I can't even talk about it. I can't even call my therapist. So now I'm typing it all out because I just had to tell somebody what was happening. Even if it was strangers on the internet. A mini update is on my page for anyone who wants it. But I didn't want this post to get too long. so I made a separate post for the update. Update July 11th, 2023. Update 1. Mini update. Hey everyone, thank all much for the kind words. Sorry I haven't responded to any comments or anything, but really I was just so overwhelmed. I ended up calling my therapist. And currently, I'm staying with my best friend. But just for a few days until I can get a flight to where my parents live. My therapist recommended that I leave this situation off the internet, and usually I would listen to her, but I know some of you genuinely do care to hear what happens to me, so I'm going to post the final update probably tomorrow if I'm not too devastated, or the day after. After that, I will most likely delete my account. First thing first, I am keeping the baby. Where I live I'm too far along to get an abortion. The time span to get one is really short. I'm currently 2 months. And I haven't started showing. My ex-fiance didn't notice because the birth control I take makes me not have a period. But if I'm being completely transparent, I probably would have kept this pregnancy anyway. Second, I took pictures like all of you suggested. And I'm meeting a lawyer later this week. Third, I called his sister and I have no idea what he told them about me. But I've never heard her have so much venom. Like what she had on that phone call with me. I told her what happened and she wasn't shocked at all and said in this exact wording, "Wow. You really haven't figured out why he did this to you at all, have you?" And then as she was telling me to never call anyone in their family again, I had to shout over her that I was pregnant in case she blocked me. I could hear the shocked silence and told her I would literally piss on a stick in front of her if she didn't believe me. I think she could tell from my voice that I was telling the truth and told me that she would get her brother to meet me at the house later today to talk. And that I had to tell him I was pregnant myself and she wouldn't do that burden for me. She then abruptly hung up. His sister and I have always been close. And I remember how I used to wait all day in the hospital when she was getting treated for her breast cancer. I have no idea what could have made her hate me this much. What lies he could have told her. I just cried so much after this phone call. My best friend is going to go over with me when I talk to him, and she's going to wait outside in the car. See you guys tomorrow or later this week. I'm reposting this because I've gotten some comments saying they couldn't see my update. I think it got taken down because I mentioned the abortion laws where I live. I'm not trying to push any political agenda or cause a hot topic in the comments. I'm just being truthful about the area in which I live. Sorry that I'm posting later than I said I would, but I ended up having a miscarriage because of the stress and needed time to process. Final update. When I got into our home, my fiance was very callous and cruel. He berated me and would not let me get a word in. He screamed at me that I needed to drop the Victim Act, or else he would tell all my friends and family the truth about me. I asked how could I be playing the victim when he's the one who cheated and then let me find out in a abusive, disgusting, and psychotic way. Before I get into the rest of this update, I feel like some background information is needed. Before I got with my fiance, my hair was completely virgin. It was a brown color that looked red in the sunlight and photos that I loved. And his was pink. When we got close, I learned that it was pink in support of his sister who got diagnosed with breast cancer. About 8 months in, I decided to dye my hair pink for his sister's upcoming breast cancer surgery. Him and his entire family was touched by the gesture, and everyone ended up dyeing their hair pink. Before her surgery, my fiance was especially touched because he knew how much I really liked my natural color. After his sister went into remission, we started to doing cute matching couple hair of all different colors. When we visited my friend a couple weeks ago, she was making a video of memories from over the years. Because one of our friend's big 30 is coming up and she plans to show it at the party. After we came home from her place, this was when I first noticed he was off. He saw a video on her computer of me with very bright red hair, which is not my natural color even in the sunlight, which is maybe a shade red above auburn. Before I go any further, this video was from mid-2019 before we got together and was not real dye. It was one of those non-bleach, non-damga hair waxes that come out after a single wash. In this video I'm making out with a former male friend of mine. We were bar hopping and you can see us in the back kissing as we're walking to the next bar. Last summer my fiance and I dyed our hair bright red like what's on the video, and he thought that I had cheated on him because he knows my hair was virgin before I dyed it pink in support of his sister. While we were arguing, he kept telling that I had cheated first and that my FC King hair was red, and that's how he knew that I had cheated with old male friend's name. That I cut off because we'd slept together once before I got with my fiance, and that made him uncomfortable. And that he'd saw it all on my friend's name computer. And that's why he slept with his female friend, because he'd wanted me to hurt like he did. I kept yelling at him that I had never cheated on him and had genuinely no idea what the hell he was talking about. I was so confused, upset, hurt, and angry that I started cramping in the middle of our shouting fest. My fiance thought I was faking it until a large amount of blood started coming from private area. He called the ambulance and my friend came inside to check if I was okay because I'd been there for a while at this point. At this point I hadn't even gotten the chance to tell him I was pregnant and my friend had to do so as I yelled out in agonizing physical pain. The ambulance came in 11 minutes, but by the time I reached the hospital it was too late. My baby was gone. From there word got out and my friend, the one with the video, heard about everything, and she came and showed him proof that the video he was talking about was from before we were together and taken in mid-2019. She showed me too, because up until that point I had completely forgotten about that night and had no idea what he was talking about. I then explained to him that it was just hair wax. I'm devastated about the baby. Despite everything I truly wanted to keep it, and I feel so hollow now. So wrecked. I don't know what to do about my relationship. He has genuinely apologized to me, and I know he only did what he did because he thought I had cheated on him. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over this. If I'll always resent him for the miscarriage. But I still love him so much, and I still can't even imagine life without him. Before his mother learned the truth, she made a scathing Facebook post about me and my cheating. And since then his entire family has all formally apologized to me, but I'm still getting calls from extended family members and friends who still haven't heard the truth, calling me hurtful things and telling me I deserved my miscarriage, and that's what I got for trying to baby trap him. It's another kick to my already broken soul. And as of right now my social reputation is in tatters because of the post. My fiance, or rather ex-fiance, wants to make one big post just addressing everything, but I honestly don't even have the energy, and I can't imagine of all this drama for all of our loved ones to see. That cut me so deeply, just plastered on Facebook. His mom has tried to call, but I've been declining all of them because also in her post she added some really nasty things she didn't like about me before she found out about the cheating that I didn't know she felt about, and I just feel really hurt about every mean thing she wrote about my personality, looks, character, depression and anxiety episodes, and past. I'm currently staying with parents in an Airbnb because I felt like I had to confront everything's front on and stay here, but they wanted to be here to support me. Guys, I thought I was broken before, but I'm going to be completely candid and say that I've considering not living since the miscarriage. A part of me also feels like my relationship, which I loved more than myself, is over, which just makes me feel so sick. So many things are being said about me and all I want to do is disappear. But I know that I can't for the sake of the people I love, and I won't. Anyhow, that's the update. I don't know where my life goes from here, but it felt only fair to update you guys one last time. Hashtag NEW update. New update September 2nd, 2023. Hey guys, I know it's been a bit and many of you were very worried about me. To be honest, I just couldn't handle reading all the responses and just needed a mental break. Also, I wasn't expecting as many comments as I received, so I just ended up silencing my notifications. I'm finally ready to respond now, so here's the update. No, my fiance and I are not getting back together, but I did forgive him. We had an incredibly long talk about everything, and I know he's genuinely remorseful about what took place, but I knew nothing would ever be the same in our relationship, so I just had to leave it behind. We made the Facebook post and many people called to apologize, but I didn't forgive any of the ones who made light of my miscarriage, and I'm very distant with all the others who just cut me off before even hearing my side. I sold the ring, and with that I bought myself a plane ticket for next month. My parents and I are American, but we used to visit this one country almost every summer when I was growing up, and they moved there after I finished high school. I'm going to move there too. I really like the country, but I never planned on moving there because I had a life here for me. College and then getting into a relationship with my ex. I was just really happy. Seeing as how that's over now, there's nothing holding me back, and I have lots friends there from over the summers. 3 girls have even offered to be roommates and have called me at least 4 times every week just to support me. But for the moment, I think I'm just going to live there with my parents. Thank you everyone for the support and how much you've worried about me. I'm nowhere near healed, but I know I'm on the right path. Bye guys. Added comment from Oop. Here. I know it may be hard for you guys to believe it, but he is genuinely sorry. It's in no way enough to balance out what happened, but at heart, he's not an evil guy. Just a stupid one. Which somehow, to me, at least, feels a little more pathetic. When he found out the truth, he was sick. I mean that figuratively and quite literally. As in, he kept throwing up every time he tried to apologize to me, and even had some very real panic attacks. I know they were real because I felt his pulse spike when he had them around me. And he even passed out at work. His boss called an ambulance. The doctors told him it was an anxiety attack. They wanted him to consider medicine or at least meet with a psychiatrist. But he refused. I'm not going into that topic because it involves some very personal information that I would never tell about him. Even after what his family did, I'm just not that person. And I refuse to let them make me into someone I'm not. He paid for all my medical bills and agreed to sell our house and told me 100% of the profit could go to me. Not to mention, he had no qualms about me keeping and eventually selling the engagement ring. He's wished me the best on my journey and has let me know repeatedly that if he could take it all back, he would. But he can't. So I have to move on. Finally, a lot of you have been saying that he used this opportunity to cheat with someone he always wanted to. He swears that that was not the case. And he only slept with her specifically because he knew that I was insecure about her the same way. He was insecure about the guy he thought I cheated with. This is the only thing he says that I'm not sure is completely true. But it doesn't matter anymore because I will never call this man my husband. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. What is it with these people who immediately go nuclear and trash the relationship, rather than actually talking to the person they supposedly wanted to spend their life with? And then the whole family piles on? And some of them tell her she deserved to lose the baby? There's a huge level of immaturity here. Glad Op is not staying with him, but man is she more forgiving than I am. I remember reading the original BORU post. I mean, I'm glad that Op isn't returning to the ex-fiance, but she is being way too forgiving on the situation. That entire family and the ex-fiance are just complete awful and psychotic people, and with what the ex pulled and how the family had treated Op, there is no way any forgiveness could fix things. I wish OP for the best for her future. This post is a poster child of why someone should not hastily jump to conclusions. Very tragic. Oh, this chick. I'm glad she broke up with him, but I think it will take a while for her to understand she dodged a huge bullet. So instead of actually talking to Op about the cheating and getting the facts, the fiancé decided to be petty and hurtful and sleep with the girl Op was insecure about. A good person doesn't do that. A good partner doesn't do that. I feel for Op, but I'm glad that she is moving away where she has family and friends to support her. She deserves better. It just saddens me that a simple conversation between them could have cleared everything. Fiancé really effed up. It's no good to burn bridges when you're filled with hurt emotions and impulsive behavior. There really is no going back after all that. I don't think words can describe how much I hate this guy. The whole thing makes me sick to read. Everyone was wild for all of this. Damn. Op is way more forgiving than I ever would be. But then again, that's probably better for her mental health overall. Unlike the grudgy McGrudgerson that I am, tears of joy. I hope life is kind to her. I don't remotely believe his cheating was a one-off, but I'm a cynic. She is way better than me. THRBF is a big man child. I mean, instead of confronting the GF, he decided that the best course of action is to get even, or tit for tat. What a trash bag. He and his family will always know, every time they look in the mirror for the rest of their lives, that they're the sort of people who are capable of doing this to someone. It sounds like they don't like what they learned about themselves. Can't wait for the next update where she meets a new man in her new country. Tears of joy upside down face. This person writes too well to be this oblivious. All of this mess can be avoided if only the ex-fiance would just simply talk to Oop about the video, instead doing a childish petty revenge. Oop dodged a bullet. Hate takes so much energy and causes so much pain. She is a very strong person to move forward the way she has. I wish her the best. OMG, Op is naive. My boyfriend cheated on me on Sunday too. I'm so heartbroken. I know how you feel. I'm so sorry, Oop. A few stones in his pocket and a lovely stroll into the ocean is what that sob needs to do after what he did to her.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.